Let's get it. Let's get it.
Here we are.
Living for the night like it is golden. Yeah, I came knowing I'm never folding. I just wanna dance among the stars. These after hours got me charged and open. Living for the night like it is golden. Yeah, I came knowing I'm never folding. I just wanna dance among the stars. These after hours got me charged and I just wanna dance among the stars. I just wanna dance among the stars. I just wanna dance among the stars. These after hours got me charged.
All right, what is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome back to the Locked In podcast. This is our After Hours Part 4 going on here tonight. So to welcome everybody in. This is episode 137, and the topic tonight, can men and women just be friends? Can men and women be friends when they're in a committed relationship with someone else? So can men be friends with women and women be friends with men? When they're in committed relationships, I feel like this is a topic that's a little interesting. It's good to gather other perspective. But first, I want to welcome everybody into the show. As always, me and George, the host of the show, I want to welcome back Mario to the podcast. Thanks for coming back, Mario.
Good to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Leyla, I want to welcome back Leyla Ozer as well. Layla's been on the podcast a couple times. Welcome back, Leyla. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you being here. I wanted to also welcome back Kandyce Scott. Kandyce has been on the podcast before. Thank you for coming on. everybody. We have so George always with the tech issues. George coming in and out
Yeah.
out here on the podcast. Rob was in the room too, so I'm assuming Rob's just gonna come back. We got another friend of mine, Dante, is supposed to come on, and my cousin Nina might be coming on too. She is working, but she's gonna try to make it on. Here's George back in the stream. What's up, George? Welcome
Yeah, what's
back.
up, man? I'm back, bro.
Yeah, man.
How's everybody doing?
Good. It's a late night episode. These ones are always fun. And people are just gonna, I think, come in like as the episode's going on. Plan to maybe go like an hour. Just
Yeah.
wanted to keep it to one topic. Didn't really want to make it too crazy, just so everybody can get their point of view in. Before we hop into it, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
guys.
Hit the notification button to turn notifications on because we release new content either related to personal development, dating, or sports every single week. You do not want to miss it. If you want to comment in, we always appreciate your feedback. We'll throw your comments up on the screen. And even if you're watching after this stream is live and it's done, we'll still get back to you. And then just sit back, relax, and enjoy the podcast.
Relax, enjoy the show. And also tell a friend to tell a friend. Okay, tell a friend about us and the Locked In podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir. So George, I'm actually gonna start, man. You don't have to. You can keep it general. And we can kind of go around the area. I know people are gonna be coming in, so
That's fine.
As I come in, man. So what are your thoughts? Say you're in like a committed relationship. I know right now you're not. You're single. You're a single guy. What are your thoughts, man? Like when you're in a committed relationship. It's not about like a respectful type of thing. What are your raw thoughts? Men and women, man, can they truly be friends with no type of sexual strings attached? No type of strings attached to the situation. Do you think that there's always some type of attraction, or do you think men and women can legitimately just be friends?
It's a tough topic, bro. It's a good question. It's an excellent question. Age-old question everybody asks. I think that
Rob,
if it's gotta be a yes or no question, bro, as hard as it is, I would say yes, because I've seen it, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it would happen as much, or you'd be very likely in today's society and in this climate of relationships, of social life, of the dating life, of love, of sex, of the dating scene. In this time and age, bro, I think it's changed a lot, bro. I don't think it's as easy as he once was, or as like the whole there's still guidelines and all that. Men and women respect their boundaries and all that, but I feel like back in the day, in a generation before ours and probably going before that. I mean, obviously it'll be different way back when, but in a lot of places I would see, and I've witnessed, I've seen a lot of men and women. They're probably older now, in their 50s and maybe their 60s even, right? But I've seen a lot of them be very much platonic, just like a brother-sister situation. A man got a wife, but he's got like a friend somehow, and she knows the wife as well. They're also the wife and the female friend are kind of friends. But again, I've seen it in the older generations. I ain't gonna lie. I never really seen it with like a lot of the young. Well, I have maybe a little, but with younger generations, it just seems like the attraction is there, and sometimes somebody, tries to make a swipe at somebody else, or try to crack at them, like they say these days. To crack at somebody means to try to holler at them. It's what they use in the streets. So.
Take a swipe. Rob looks like he got some thoughts on that one, man. Also, guys, welcome in Rob back to the podcast. Too, man.
Welcome,
Rob L, what's up, brother? How you
What's
doing,
up,
bro?
y'all? What's up, y'all? Good to see y'all.
What's up,
Happy
Rob?
to be here. Happy to be here.
Sir.
Yeah, I was just laughing at George's comment from the streets.
Trying to take a swipe at the streets. I'll be honest, my thoughts. I agree with some of the things you said. Some of them I have a little bit of a different stance. I think that it's a tough situation, but realistically, it really depends because a lot of the men, with the testosterone and everything, and a lot of men have, a lot of times we have high sex drives, and a lot of men have different intentions. So here's the thing: when you're in a committed relationship, I think it can definitely be a red flag if the girl that you're with has majority male friends. I think that's a big that's a big red flag. Only because
Agreed.
A lot of times today, not every woman is like this, but a lot of women are attention seeking. It's like so they like to have like those type of men, like they like to have men around them.
Like
for
guys
validation.
entertain.
I always say this for men, in order to be validated from like a sexual standpoint, we actually have to actually have sex and get laid. Like whereas for like a woman, I feel like she can get sometimes that same type of satisfaction from just validation from men. I don't know how many of you agree with that. I don't know if any of you have stances, but I kind of feel like that. So it's like, that's from that perspective. But men have a lot of sneaky intentions. Like they, I was watching one podcast and a girl was on there, and they were like, "You really believe that the guy that like you've been friends with for like all this time, like he don't have no type of physical attraction to you? So like, all right, let's call him up right now." You tell him like you're drunk, like, "Oh, you realize you got feelings for him, you want to hook up." And she called him, and what the guy said, she's like, "Nah, he's just platonic." And then he's like, "Oh yeah, bet," like all this like off and stuff. So like just like that, like you can kind of see that shift. Men always got some type of intention. So it really depends a lot. It depends on the maturity between two individuals, but a lot, I'm gonna say more times than not, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. I'm gonna be honest. It depends on the scenario, but it's very difficult.
Yeah, I'll hop on. I guess my stance on it is I actually think men and women can be acquaintances,
Mhm.
but I don't think we can be like best friends. So there's like a fine line. It's like a spectrum to it. It's like you got acquaintance, you got friend, and you got best friend.
Correct.
Um, I'm more like we can be acquaintances slash friends, but like if you guys are talking every day, hanging out all the time, I think that's a little
Yeah,
different
exactly.
because when you think about friends, you guys men become friends based off shared interests, or activity, or hobbies, or productivity. So as a
Yes,
man, if
sir.
you friends with a girl and she don't like super like really close with her, and but she don't play sports like you, she don't watch football like you, she don't play basketball, she don't highlight girls like you. So it's just like, what are you guys really
Have in
sharing in
common, right? What do you
interests?
have in common,
Right,
right?
right. Like, what do you?
Well, in that
So, what's
sense,
the
yeah.
goal here? So, it's just like you could be acquaintances. Like, oh, you guys like a group of friends. You cool with the girl. You go to the beach and stuff. Like, I have female acquaintances. Actually, I have female friends. Like, but like we don't talk every day all the time. Like, we talk like once every 2 months when the whole gang get together. So it's just like that's my stance on it for real. Because if you see a guy like always, especially if she's an attractive girl, I don't see him just being blatantly just like, oh no, just cordial friends.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I feel you on that, though. I feel you on that. I actually agree with almost everything Rob said. Well, for the most part, yeah. But and the way you word this as well, like you can have an acquaintance. Now, I do believe, like I said earlier, that some girls and guys can be friends. But again, we're not talking about like every day, like like besties like that. Because if she has a
Right,
bestie, but she has no man, well, the bestie becomes the man. Because I mean, at the end of the day, a girl and a guy are. I mean, you're supposed to be like, or my best friend, and now she becomes or he becomes your significant other. You know what I mean? Your significant other, and then after you might marry. People always say, guys say I marry my best friend. Girls say I marry my best friend for the guy, right? So I mean, obviously the friend, as far as like being friends, got to be there. But no, Rob made a great point to like if you see him every day and there's nothing in common or there's a lot in common, feelings can grow, and some one or the other might have like again, take a pass, take a swipe, or think about making a move. But also, like I've seen some situations where it doesn't happen like that, and I mean, I guess it takes some guys to be really strong. I mean, to not be looking at a girl like that they're just friends with. I mean, I have some female friends I never really thought about hooking up with, but I mean, I know that like in my mind, you probably if we see each other like that, like back in the day, maybe not now, but back in the day, it could have happened. We just never did, and I never looked at them like that. But like I said, man, like you saying, like not Rich, Rob was saying, and Steve, guys can be moody, girls too. I mean, there's always moods. You never know what could happen. I mean, but let's be clear one thing, real quick. Let's be clear.
I'm the only woman now.
I know. I told Kandyce to come back in. I was like, yeah, don't make Leyla the only girl in here. So I just texted her. I was like, I don't know if her, I don't know if her. Last time I think her phone kind of died.
Yeah, my phone's on on 6%, but I probably grab my.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no, what I was saying was real quick that for those that are watching, we're talking about if a man and a woman are actually married, can they have like friends of different sex, like kind of like do they know each other, and then their husband and wife knows about them as well, and also if it's just in a general situation, if a man and a woman are just cool, even if they're single or not, doesn't matter, right? Can they, they're just like friends, they're cool in good terms, or acquaintances? Can there be like a platonic situation? Can they be hanging out with each other without really, thinking about some kind of sexual content, or some kind of, initiation about that? That's kind of the two topics, the main two topics are, and a few other things as well that was, written on the promo and some of the headlines. Because I know people are wondering what we're talking about. So I was telling people we're talking about relationships and mostly friends and female friends with guy friends. Can they really mingle? Can they be friends? For some friends that do sleep with each other, but they're still cool. That's it.
See, I don't really consider that like friends though, man. See, like
Yeah, once you cross that line.
I'm talking from a platonic standpoint. I'm not talking from like
Exactly.
a sexual friend. I'm not talking from a friends with benefits like standpoint.
No, we're not talking about that at all. We're talking about
Yeah.
strictly friends. Like not like if there's nothing any cross that border or that line, but can it happen? That's I mean, I want to stick on topic,
Right.
but obviously that's something that comes up too. So
yeah, Rob.
Go ahead, Rob. You want to say something, Rob?
I was gonna say you guys both got good points. I was like Rob always dropping the wisdom here, man.
Oh yeah,
that's a really good point, and it's actually really
Rob.
well put. Yeah, I think if it's also disrespectful to your partner. If you're say like your girl has like a guy friend and they text like every once in a while. But if they're texting them every single day, it's like disrespectful to the man. I feel like for the same thing for the guy. If a woman saw her man texting a girl every single day that was a friend of his, it would probably make the person, I don't care like how comfortable you are, you would still probably be a little agitated by it because it's like it just comes off as disrespectful in my opinion. So you just never and like I said, you never know like that there could always be some type of underlying attraction there and you just never know.
I think you're right with that.
I'm curious to hear Marius and Leyla's thoughts on this. I'll actually give it to you, Leyla. Then I'll kick the Marius so we can get like a female perspective. Just like, and you can just keep it real, like like don't just feel comfortable to say whatever.
Okay.
Thoughts.
So I mean, I think I think guys and girls can be friends platonically, but I think there's like variables in there that do matter. But knowing me and I kind of go to like the root cause. Like the root cause can kind of be like more like two different individuals, if one's secure and one's insecure, you know what I mean? Or if they have like trust issues to begin with, and also like get it like knowing yourself. I don't know how to describe it, but at the end of the day, I think it kind of goes down to like your personality and values. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think guys and girls can definitely be friends. I have like a handful of guy friends, but it's like more like childhood friends, and I don't know. Like I don't think it's not impossible. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Do you talk to them like all the time, like every day and stuff like that?
So, I mean, I have this one friend. He, like, I met him when I was like 16 years old. So, like, we kind of grew up each other. But, like, it's like, I guess, like, in the very beginning, like, that's established. Like, that's not getting there, right. I don't know. But we used to hang out when we were younger. But as, I got older, he has his own life. I have my own life. But we still hang out occasionally. Yeah.
Right. Do you see it as like just that? It would never go any further. Just friends. Like that's. Sorry to put you on the spot there.
Like it would have to be mutual. Like what if there, like if you have that boundary, like you will set that boundary, and like someone gonna move you, but like whoa, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
But like if you're going in and they're going in too, like it takes two to tango.
Yeah,
exactly.
Boundaries are important. That's the thing. It's like I'm confident like in who I am. So like I always say like I'll trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you. But I'll also when I'm in a relationship like set boundaries too. Like it's like if something like if I was in a relationship and like the girl was like it's all right to have of course childhood friends, like everybody knows people like from different sexes like they've been friends with, but it's kind I agree with like Rob said, like it's like if that person's like blowing up your phone, y'all are like snapping every day, like doing this, like it's like then it's like is there like something
it's a little repetitive,
you know what I mean?
It's a little suspicious.
I do like snap my best friend, like I've known him for a long time, so like we snap. And in fact I went to the Post Malone concert on Tuesday and I saw him snap, and he's showing me like a snap of him at the concert. I was like, oh my god, I'm here. So then I scurry in the crowd and I find him, and I was like, oh my god, I knew you were my best friend. But it's like a really different relationship. Like I feel like there's like boundaries that kind of have to be set in the beginning and like intention. So like if you see someone have the bad intention and you keep kind of going with it, like you're like kind of guilty. But
Right.
I don't think it's just, and like what if you do get into a relationship with someone that does have guy friends? Like what would you realistically do? You wouldn't give someone the ultimatum.
Right.
So in that circumstance, I feel like if someone's that close together, like maybe have them come over to the house so you're not feeling like they're doing something sneaky, like hang out, watch a movie together. If it's your partner and that's going to be their friend too, if that's the case.
Right. And I think Desi actually commented. In. She said, "Men and women can be friends, in my opinion, as long as you're not disrespecting your partner. Humans attract each other is natural. There's a line. As long as it's not crossed, shouldn't be an issue." Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it really depends on the situation. It depends. That's why I said it really depends, and it also depends have they hooked up before the people too. So it's like, I see sometimes people it's have they hooked up before, because I feel like it's harder to I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on it. Mario, I wanted to get your opinion too. We can go around the whole thing on it. What's your thoughts on it, man?
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, I don't think men and women can be just platonic friends. I think the sex part always is going to get on the way. That's just the reality of it. Now, I do kind of agree with Rob. I think you can have females that are acquaintances that that you work with that you may know, but in terms of just being friendships like platonically, I just don't think it's I don't think it's possible. I think it's eventually going to come to a clash, and I just don't think it's going to happen.
Okay. We got all different views around the room. Yeah, no, it's that's the one thing I gotta say. It's you maybe now, but it's you never know that whole underlying thing could be there. Like you say, sex. It's I feel maybe not always, but a lot of the time there's some type of sexual attraction. Like I said, there's always cases where it might not be the truth, because there's not a blanket statement for everything. But a lot of the times, I agree with you. There's always some type of attraction that might go further than that. So it really, really depends on the situation. That's why context is really key. But I agree with you. Us as men, that's the thing. Us men, we're naturally as providers and protectors. We're gonna be a little bit, protective of our women too. She's always around a dude. It's natural. I don't know what your guys thoughts. Yeah. So it's
yeah,
we
because
know
that guy,
we know
yeah,
men.
that, oh, my
We
bad,
know
go
men.
ahead.
we
Yeah, I
know
was
men
just
'cause we are men.
yeah, we know men because we are men. We know males' nature, and we know men are goal oriented. So if a guy is always with your girl, we know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
We know he's not hanging out with her to talk football or
What?
to play basketball, to
I
hang out, have
no open here.
we know. So I think that I think that's why if you have a lot of male friends, I think that's why it's a red flag. Like I said, I'm cool with a guy being an acquaintance, but it's just him hanging out one on one with your chick is just nah, I can't let
But
that
how
fly.
all the time, or every once in a while?
Every once in a while, even then, to me it's why are you guys one on one? Maybe if you work
Why don't you?
together, that's different.
I'd be like, all right, cool, let's go. Hop in the
Come,
car.
Yeah, that's a boundary, and I agree with that. That's a boundary
And that's
that
the
you
thing.
draw. So yeah.
If you do get into that relationship, why? I think you guys should talk about hey, I understand so and so is your friend, but I feel sometimes I have questions, and I don't want you to be defensive, but you just want to know. You kind of have to make the person a little comfortable. Stop it.
George ran. You heard the noise. He's I'm out of here. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just yo, this camera happened to go off.
Yeah, not only does he have technological issues, he has animal issues.
But yeah, so I agree with Desi. She's right. It's natural. To me, there's nothing wrong with the attraction between men and women. That's natural. That's perfectly natural. But because of that, we gotta have boundaries and be aware of that. And if a guy is hanging out with a girl as a friend all the time,
yeah, all the time,
you gotta be iffy about it. Especially if he's single as well.
Yeah,
and
you
he
gotta watch
just
that.
it's like we know men are goal oriented. We always have a goal in our head of what we're trying
Yeah.
to do. So what's the reason? So
Yeah, I
Right.
mean,
I
because
think
I think there might be like a hidden motive there too. Like if they're hanging
right,
out all the time and whatnot, as like as a guy, because men are logical. Like we're always going to be thinking with our heads. We're going to be thinking. I'm like, okay, what's the hidden motive here? Why is he always out with her? Like, are they really just friends? Are they really just friends platonically, or is there, or is that like how he's trying to get? He's trying to approach her
right,
as a friend,
And
with
and
an end goal in mind.
and like
So that's
what
another way
interests do they
too.
share? Like what do they really share in terms of interest?
Because me and my bestie fucking crack jokes and just laugh the whole night sometimes.
okay.
Like sometimes like my partner pisses me off. I don't want to look at his face. But my best friend, like we talk about the stupid shit and we're happy.
Is he single or is he in a relationship? So
I don't know. He he's
that's
happy
that's
lady.
that's kidding. Like it's just like you never know, like because he could have an attraction towards you.
But
I mean, you might
he
not
used to
know it.
he, he has a
I,
kid.
I do agree with Desi. It's up to the woman to draw that line though. If a woman respects her man, she also I feel like she also won't always put herself in that position either, like all the time. Like
Right.
it's a little different. I've seen it personally a lot of times. There's always men hanging out in the background when a woman's in a relationship, and as soon as that woman's like single, they like trying to slide right in there. They waiting, and just trying to slide right in there. I've seen it like so many times.
Yeah, they jump in there like hyenas, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, Marius, we know me and you know a couple people. Like we've
Yeah,
seen it. Like that he's sitting there like waiting in the background, and the one and every time that girl's single, she doesn't give those dudes a light of the day because of the way they be acting. They be like, I don't know, like Mario, I know you know somebody. Remember, she had a couple like kind of like what is it called, like orbiters, when she was in a
oh
relationship,
man.
like he's
Oof.
holding like her bag for her, all this stuff, and then like so when she's single, trying to slide on in there, and she's like, nah, I'm not gonna mention the person's name, but he knows who we're talking about. I've
Oh
seen,
yeah. Oh, I know very well.
you know what I'm talking about, and I'm like, I've seen it so many times.
And they're going to be orbiting for a very long time, man.
We just know how guys think. We just know how guys think, so it's like, I don't know. Like for a woman, she might think because, like I said, like I think, like Rob said, men are goal oriented. So for women, like they could literally just off the acquaintance alone be,
Happy.
that suffice for
Right,
like that's
right.
completely that's what I'm saying. The male side of it kind of
It's
ruins it
different. Yeah.
because women can be completely fine with just say they are a sports fan. They like talking sports with the guy, hanging out. Leyla, I know you like the Eagles and stuff. I know you're an Eagles fan. So like you might be fine with that, but then in the back of the mind, like the guy's cool with that too. But like he also has like that underlying urge that like he's attracted. He like he if that opportunity presented itself, he would try to slide. Leyla went out.
Her phone probably died.
Oh
Her
boy.
phone died.
Her phone probably dead. Now we got the guys in there. I told Kandyce go back in. She said she's gonna try. Her phone died as well, I think, so she's gonna try to come back in too. But yeah, no, man, us as guys, man, we've seen that a lot. They always got those orbiters, man.
Hmm.
Think about it. When you like say you're out somewhere and a random guy come up to you, what's your first thoughts? What do you want? Like if that's our first thoughts. All right, what does this guy want? Because
Right.
we know men. But if it's a woman, we like, oh, she might be flirting, she might be this, she might be that. It's
Yep.
just different.
Yep. And I think Desi said here, men always have a goal. Women have theirs too. Sometimes women have male friends because they want to get their sense. So see, women, but just off of attention alone, can be suffice with that. But men, their goal ultimately is to have to get laid. That's like a lot of times, like us getting sex and getting laid, because it's a tougher task for us than it is for women. That's the ultimate goal for a man. Versus like a woman, she can just get validation just by the man, like giving her validation, compliments, different things, and that can be that. So
Yeah, well, yeah, because men and women are different. Men are
they
physical,
operate
women are emotional. So that's why women crave more to the emotional side of it. And for us, going back to what you said, like we have to have it. That makes us physical beings. So we're very, very different.
yeah. That's a good point. That's just why I feel like the men are the ones that ruin that side of it, because it's like that's the thing. It's like you might not be judging your girl, but you be judging like what the other guys be doing, because we know how they operate. We know hanging out in the background, so that's something you got to question. Especially like Rob said, if the guy is single, say he's single, he's not gay. He's like, that's different too. If the guy is, you know, he's gay, like it's different. You know, I know a lot of girls that have, you know, gay male friends, and you know, that's you know, they're never going to try to sleep with your woman. They're gay, but
you'd be surprised at times.
that is true too.
I
That
have
is true. You gotta be careful.
stories.
That is true too. Make sure they're gay, not bisexual.
Yeah, you know, next thing you know, they'd be changing
I've
peeps
heard
for the
some
night, bro.
stories.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. That is true. You never know. But
Yeah, I can't hear you, George.
is George here? Oh,
Yeah,
he
he's
is
here.
here.
He's talking. I couldn't hear him. I don't know what he said.
Yeah, George, I can't hear you. Yeah, she said, "Women know women. Same way y'all protect y'all girls, we do the same."
Yeah.
Yeah, we protect our women.
But
And they protect their men too. That's true. There are some women out there. It's not all, but there's a lot of women. You know, they can women. I think a lot of women can speak for that too. That a lot of there's women that are spiteful. They're bitches, and they'll try to be like, "Oh, she got that man. Like he must got something good. I'm gonna go try to get a piece of him and take him away." Like I feel like a lot of times, majority of the time, it's men. But women do it too. There are women out there that have an agenda, and guess what? If she opens up that door for the man, but 9 times out of 10, that man is gonna. If he might take that. Hey, welcome
My
back.
phone died. Sorry.
Hey, it's all right. George keeps popping in and out. So, we were just saying, Desi was saying women know women the same way that y'all like we know men. As she said, we do the same. Like we protect y'all protect your men as well. Because I said I'm like sometimes women are bitches too, and like not I'm not saying all women. I'm just saying some, but they be like they have an agenda. They might see that like say like you're in a relationship, and they may be like, oh, she's got that guy. He must have something good. I'm gonna try to take him like from the girl. So like there's girls that do that all the time. So it's like obviously women are gonna be protective of their man too. They're gonna be like, hey, why is he talking to this girl all the time? I am a firm believer in I'll trust someone until they break my trust. And when they break my trust, that's it. Like that's a wrap. Like once you break my trust, it's like if I'm trusting towards you and I'm confident and secure in myself, if you don't give me a reason not to trust you, I'll trust you. But you break my trust, it's gonna be that's it. You know. So it's like that. There has to be boundaries for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, he's back. I can hear you now, man. What's up, man? Oh, kind of froze up. You froze up for a second, bro. Yo, George, can you hear us? He can't hear him again. Can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, this was the same thing that happened last time. That's why I couldn't hear what you were saying.
George, you need some new Wi-Fi, man.
Yeah, I think it's like a sound thing. It's like a sound thing. Like something's going on with his phone.
Dude, he needs a new Wi-Fi, new laptop. He needs like an
camera.
He needs like a complete rebuild, bro.
All right, let's help him out.
There's nothing I can do from my room.
The IT guy, Mario, the IT guy.
I reprogrammed the Fire Sticks, bro. I don't know much about laptops.
Man, yeah, that's why I think it's. Desi says she should come on with her camera on. She's going through something. I'll tell her, just come on. I'll send her a link.
Yeah, tell her come on. And like I said, I really think it's a spectrum to it. Like I think men and women could be acquaintances. Like I have female acquaintances, and I have I guess you would call a female friend as well. But we don't talk every day, updating every day. It's just like when the groups get together, we have a group, we all come together. That's mostly when I see her. So
that's very true. A lot of times. So I just sent her the link. Nah, yeah, it's that's usually how it is. I feel it's like because there's differences between y'all like sharing friends and y'all get together and have like a group thing versus like I know that there's such things as childhood friends, but it's like Rob said, if they're like if the other person, it's just the men that you have to be like because men have the different intentions. We were also saying that men have the goal of sex a lot of times because like Mario was saying, we're different types of. That was before you went out, Leyla. We were saying like men and women are a little bit different. Like women off of like validation and just talking to the man and having legitimate conversations. As women being emotional beings, like that's sometimes suffice for a woman, but for men a lot of times, because we're logical, goal oriented, like a lot of men don't feel suffice a lot of times until they get like the ultimate goal, which is sex. So it's a little bit different. Oh, Desi's coming on.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
What's up, Desi?
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Hey. So what are your thoughts here? I know you've been commenting.
I commented my thoughts. It's easier to just hop on and talk than type, but I just didn't want to, show my face right now. So.
I know, I got it.
You want to share your thoughts, Desi?
Yeah, you're gonna share your thoughts.
Where did you guys leave off at? Because I had to hop on, so it cut off.
So I know you had commented. So like your thoughts on like men and women being friends. I know we've seen some of your comments, but just in general.
So I just feel like, in my opinion, for me personally, men and women can be friends. Like as long as you don't cross that line.
Right.
We know as women that men, we know like we know what you guys want, and but it just depends. Like if you're in a relationship, there's a line that shouldn't be crossed. Don't disrespect your partner. My partner knows who my male friends are. It's never been, I don't think, an issue. I don't call them acquaintances because I feel like we're friends. Like they're cool. I don't talk to them every day. But we hit each other up. We check up on each other. My male best friend is gay, so then that goes out the window for that. But like, like, I just feel as long as like that boundary isn't crossed, it's not disrespected. I don't see an issue with it, and vice versa. I think if my partner has a female friend, as long as they're just friends and they're just cool, then
Well,
that's
that's
fine.
what I was saying.
Desi, can I ask you a question though?
Go ahead.
So you and your male friends, you guys like hang out every day?
No.
What
They don't
would
even live here in the state of Jersey. So.
Okay, and like, what do you
That's
guys
a
do
different
when you guys
story.
hang out?
Huh?
What do you guys do when you guys hang out?
We don't hang out. We like text each other. Sometimes we speak to each other like periodically. So, but it's always like either FaceTime or we'll text each other and we'll catch up on life. And
do you hang out every now and then?
We don't.
So that's more of an acquaintance.
Yeah, but I call him my friend. I mean, I went to school with him. Like, I just,
like distant friends.
I call him my friend. Like, he's my friend. I don't like that word. Like,
yeah, I hear you.
But he's my friend, and we check up on each other. He goes through his mental health issues, so we keep in contact with each other often. And that's it, really. I don't hang out with him. But we'll FaceTime here and there, and he's still waiting to meet my boyfriend, so we have to plan a day of three of us hanging out. So, but I think that's it, really. I don't.
Yeah. See, it's a little big different. It's like Rob said at the beginning, when they're hanging out like one-on-one all the time and stuff like that, that's a little bit different. Like because it's that makes you kind of question. Whereas I feel like it's the same thing if a woman's like with like is with her man, and imagine you ladies, you have a boyfriend and he's hanging out with like a friend of his that's a straight woman who is like, even though they've been friends for a while, all the time, like it's like
we would lose our shit.
because like you would start to question and be like, why is he spending so much time with this person versus spending time with me? That's natural though, right? Yeah, we protect because it's because y'all ladies know how men are too. Y'all know, like y'all probably have seen it and experienced it. Y'all know how sometimes us men, the testosterone, all the shit too. That's a factor too. A lot of men, like it's a little. So it's like a lot of men.
Also, too, again, like he's my friend, but I know, like I wouldn't feel comfortable hanging out with him like one-on-one.
You see, there you go.
Because
Yep.
but the reason number one is because of I'm in a relationship. That's number one, two, and I feel like
Yep.
that's disrespectful. And then two, I know what his intentions would end up like, or where he would try to go. As much as like he's a friend and he's cool and
Hey,
stuff,
see?
he's always good. Like, and that's why I agree. I never disagree with anything that you guys said. But that's why I've never hung out with him on what you can call me all you want, you can text me all you want, we can catch up on life. But in person, we never hang out in person.
Unless there's other people.
Oh yeah, if it's like a group of people, absolutely. But like just me and him together hanging out, like for what?
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
exactly.
it is.
That's
I mean,
me.
Exactly what I was saying. Yeah.
that's what Rob was saying. Kind of like what we alluded to. You just never know. But
It just
if
would
you
be
see him
weird.
once
And
a year,
it's just
it's a different
disrespectful.
story.
Do you think that I'm gonna like, hey babe, like I'm gonna go hang out with X, Y, and Z? Like
Right.
he's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
And that's supposed to be okay? Because if he was
Exactly.
to come to me and be like, hey babe, I'm going out with X, Y, I'd be who and where, when, what? Tell me, drop the location because I'm coming too.
Details.
like,
We need some details.
Yeah, you'd want to meet the girl too. Like it's
Right.
it's natural. We're
And then
protective.
if it's a friend, I feel as though it shouldn't be like a one-on-one thing. So it should be like,
No.
oh, let's all hang out together. Like if
But
we
guys
cool,
hang out one-on-one.
huh?
Guys hang out one-on-one.
Like
Yeah,
guys.
You see what I'm saying? Guys hang out one-on-one and we're friends. But it's different, right? When it's
just
male
like
and female.
just like when women hang out with their friends just one on one.
Yeah.
Like it's like women like their female friends. It's a little different.
Right, but I'm saying like if I'm not gonna be hanging out with a male friend one-on-one by myself.
Yeah, so what we're just doing is just pointing out the difference. But you hang out with your female friend one-on-one, right?
Yeah.
Of
course. See?
Yeah. That's what we're pointing out.
The standards are different. Everything's a little different with men, but that's the thing.
I mean, I could hang out with him one-on-one. I mean, I know what I'm not gonna like. I know my line, but I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I would rather never cross that line. He knows very well. We're friends. We're cool. We talk. We FaceTime. We hit each other up every so often. We're cool. He's had he's talked to my boyfriend over the phone, and he wants the three of us to hang out. So that there's nothing there, but I just feel as though like vice versa. If it was a girl, like my boyfriend hitting me up talking about something, I'm gonna go see like this X, Y, and Z. I'll be like, and who is she?
Exactly.
Like,
You question it more.
You're gonna question it. You're gonna question it. You're like, oh, can I meet her? If the person says no, you can't meet the person too. That's a red flag.
If I
you
can't meet the person, if I can't meet it, that's a problem.
Of course.
And that just answers every question that's in my head.
Yeah.
Of course. If you have nothing to hide, there's no reason that the other person can meet that person. So if the person asks, of course, because it's like there's nothing to hide. It's like, nah, now if y'all are hooking, now if y'all got like a side thing going on, you're gonna know. They're gonna know right away. They're gonna be like, nah, you can't meet that person. Like, nah,
that's not what we're talking about. But like, does that always happen though? Like a lot of times guys try to talk to other guys' girls and all that, or a guy and a girl might become from platonic to like, you know,
it happens a lot.
Actually, like sleep with each other. But it does happen a lot. But when that's the thing, you also question a woman's loyalty. If she's loyal to her man, she can hang out with her guy's friend one time. Maybe he's gonna help her move some stuff at the apartment, but her husband's like up north for a trip. You gotta have loyalty, and also the husband got to know the other guy that's helping her out and be comfortable. Like Desmond says, about be comfortable and having that understanding. But also in retrospect, what Marius said, it's hard because like a lot of times the guy, like how often does a guy ask like Steve, you ask one of your friends like, yo man, I need you to watch my wife for me for a couple of days. I'm going up north for a trip. Like that video. What's the video called? Nah, hang on. The song by Busta Rhymes. Hang on a second. Hang on. Busta Rhymes featuring Mariah Carey. It's called "Give It, Baby, Give It to Me, I Give It to You." Watch the video. It's called "I'll Give It to You." It's called, and basically it's Michael J. White. He tells Busta Rhymes, "I need you to watch my wife for me. You my guy. I gotta go up north." And then he watches his wife for him. You can tell that like in the video, it's like he develops feelings, but that's his man's wife, so he stays away. And then their house gets ran over, and it's a whole. You gotta watch the video though to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, off topic. Can we go back to the early 2000s again? Because time was just so much simple back then.
That was 2003, Marius. 20 years ago.
It was.
Yeah, good times.
Much simpler, man. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what are you gonna say, Rob?
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't even feel comfortable letting a guy one on one with my chick. Like that's just
Right.
yeah, I wouldn't even feel
It's hard, bro.
if it's a
Even a
group,
friend,
that's fine. A group of friends and the guys are there, that's fine. But one on one, you just
you
never
never
know.
know.
The guy
You
can
never know.
overpower your girl. You just never know. You
You can
never
try to
know. So
I
prove them
agree
doing
Exactly.
too
fine.
because
I
I
wouldn't feel
agree
comfortable.
too because if it was vice versa, like I said, we would lose our shit. And a one-on-one with a guy, if your man, well, like from the girl standpoint, if my boyfriend's okay with me like hanging out with my male best friend one-on-one and he's cool with that, that's a red flag for me. That means that you either don't care or you're doing something shady on your side. For me, like
Right.
if it
Yeah.
doesn't raise a flag to you, like, hey babe, I'm gonna go hang out with this person, and you don't
Yeah.
question nothing about it, that's to me a red, a red
You
flag on the
you
other
gotta
end.
show concern. You gotta show concern, like you said,
Us,
because
yeah.
automatically it could be, like,
And
okay,
us,
so you don't even care.
and us as men, we're protective and of what's ours. So it's like usually like if a man will still question that too, because it's like no, it's like Rob said, it's not that we don't trust our woman. It's like that, like Desi, you said, like
You
you
don't
would
trust
draw
the
that
guys.
boundary, but a guy could overpower a girl too. So God forbid, like something happens, it's like you don't just don't want your girl in that situation too.
Yeah.
And I know like some women will say like oh the guy's insecure and stuff like that for saying that. Nah, I don't think so. Like
Nah, it's
Nah.
not
it's a
secure.
boundary. It's a
You're
boundary. That's what that.
protective.
It's not that we don't
You
trust our woman. It's just that we just know how guys are. So it's not that we don't trust our woman. We're secure in our relationship. It's just we know
It
how
got
guys
nothing
are.
to do with being secure, bro. It's about you standing up
Right.
because, like Rap said, we know how guys are. And some guys will use the card. Oh, I'm your friend, but they want to weasel the way in. You guys ever watch this movie? Hold on, hold on. You ever watch this movie right here?
There's something about Mary. I've seen that movie.
Nah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it's
that movie
all
explains it all, bro. That's what you need to do a watch. Plenty of guys there pretend to be friends. Oh, yeah, I'm your guy friend. I can't walk this and that. A bunch of weasels. That's a good movie. It's a classic. You know what I mean?
that
With Ben
actually is
Stiller.
kind of true. It's a comedy,
So
but that actually is
it's
kind
a
of true. There
comedy,
are
but
some
it's true.
themes.
So have you said that, you got to, like Rob say, nah, man, a guy can overpower your girl with his words sometimes. I mean, most girls are pretty strong-minded. If they really love their man and don't want to do that, but you never know. And the other way around, like Desi said, if it's an attractive woman and you're a married man, she'll come up to you and be like, yo, chill, don't be hugging up on me. I got a wife. You know what I mean? You got to relax. Girls will use the power, bro. It's hard to say no, but you got to just have it. I mean, if you're married, you made a vow with your wife, you, a priest, and
Hmm.
God. So, I mean, I'm just saying, man. I mean, if you don't do all that, don't get married. I mean, be in a relationship, but it's still not an excuse. Go, oh, I didn't marry my girlfriend because I didn't get married out of God, but I'm going to cheat on her. Nah, you shouldn't do it, period. Fuck that.
Right. I don't
And we
welcome.
got Candyce back. Yay. Get your lighters up. We got her back. She's in the building. She's so rare. I need an autograph.
Thank
Let's get an
you,
autograph.
George.
Stop me an autograph, will you?
What are your thoughts, Kenny? We were just sharing about if men and women could be like the general consensus. Like here is like men and women. It's like it really depends on the boundaries. But like we were saying one on one and stuff. Like we know how men are. So when we're in relationships, we're protective of what's ours. So it's like a man and a woman like hanging out like when they're like in a relationship. So what are your thoughts on men and women being just friends?
Um, of course, I like the old fashioned day, back in the day where people had respect for each other. But I think people can be friends, as long as they're just respectful and setting those boundaries, where you respect the other person's partner, and just respecting the individual their self. For me, I think like if I'm in a relationship, I would prefer me and my partner to have friends with people that are in a relationship. So I think that's better because we can relate
Good point.
more. But it is still good. You can still have friends if you're not in a relationship with that person. Again, just being respectful. And I think a lot of people, they just don't know how to be friends with people anymore. People want people, for temporary feelings and not respect that someone's in a relationship. So it's just as long as you and your partner, I think you should communicate with your partner, like, okay, yeah, this is my friend, this is what we're doing, but not seeing them, like Rob said, not seeing them every day, not hanging out with them all the time and stuff. Like, yeah, that's not cool at all. But other than that, again, I feel like if you're in a couple, you should be if you're a couple, you should be friends with couples. It's okay to have friends, but like once in a while thing, like checking on them or saying, "Hey, what's up?" As long as it's appropriate conversation. So that's my insight on it.
It's good insight. I was gonna say, yeah, it really depends. Like I always say, it's a red flag if like your partner can't meet the person. Like it's like if the person says, like that's what I was saying. Like if they're like, oh,
Yes.
you can't meet the person or something like that, that's like, what do you have to hide? So something else going on there. You're probably sleeping
Right.
with that person or something's going
Or
on
if they
there.
can't even talk to them. Like I feel like if you have friends, it should be okay for the girlfriend or the boyfriend to both be able to communicate with the friend. I know a lot of people like to be secretive with their friends and not tell their partner, and I think that's dumb because if you have nothing to hide, we should both be able to converse with your friend.
Of course, there should be nothing to hide. We were just saying, like with men and women, like being friends, it's just like we just know how a lot of guys are. So it's like, and it's like Rob said, maybe the woman does have the respect and like she knows not to draw that line, but men can also overpower women. You just never know what could happen. It
And the thing, women are too friendly too. Like I know for myself, you know, some people take it the wrong way that I'm friendly. Like when I was in a relationship, like if I would just have a conversation with someone, like whether I be walking to the store and somebody, hey, how are you? How's it going? Or do you know how to get here? And you just, start a conversation. I know that my partner would get jealous because of how friendly I was with other people. So sometimes I feel like women, we don't try to, flirt or anything. But with us having friends, we're just being friendly, and a lot of people take it the wrong way.
right. Like I said, I've seen like a lot of things where like they said like they're like I was watching one podcast and the woman they said he's your best friend for a while. So what they do is they like call up the guy on the line. They tell her act like you're like drunk and you're like, oh, I realized like I'm attracted to you. Hey, do you want to hook up? And a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, the guy's like, yeah, oh, yo, hit me up, yo, bet, like, yo, I'll be right over and stuff. So it's like they'll be like, nah, he never see me like that. We're only platonic. But that's why I say for men and women,
I've
sometimes
seen
it's
that.
different. It depends on the mature. What's that? Yeah, and then they'd be like, "Oh, yo, bet, come over," and stuff like, because like they've been waiting waiting in the background for a while to try to slide
To
in.
mess
Yeah,
with the friend. That's
Yeah.
sad. It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
A lot of men
Yeah.
hang out in the background.
And just a disclaimer to any guys watching, that's just the loser way to go about it. Like,
It,
if you
it
like a
really,
girl, just be straight up. And if she's in a relationship, she's off boundaries. Go for it. There's plenty of other girls. So,
exactly,
like, if your
So
exactly.
many
intentions is
girls,
to,
so many men.
yeah, if your intentions to get with her, just be straight up.
I've told other guys that too that I personally know. I'm like, yo, why? Like, there's some guys that always have drama sent around and they be like messing with this guy's chick, this guy. I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing, like, you feel proud about that, man. There's just so many other. As you get older, that shit is not like that's not cool. Like, it's like I'm a big believer in don't do shit that you don't want happening to you. So God forbid you're a single guy now. But it's like then when you're in a relationship, that karma gonna come back to you, and you're gonna be messing around with all a bunch of other dudes. So stop like doing like stupid shit. Like, there's no reason for you to be messing with a woman who's already, I mean, you already know is in a relationship or is married. For God's sake, like there's so, like Rob said, there's so many other women out there, but so many dudes I feel like they think of it as like like they're conquering something. Like, oh, I literally heard a dude like telling me that I'm gonna take her like from this dude. I'm like, bro, and he like literally was gonna try to he was literally gonna try to get into a relationship with this chick. I'm like, so let me get this straight. You're gonna take her from him. If she leaves that dude and she's with you, you don't think she's gonna do the same thing to you? Like, if she's that easily taken by you coming in and doing that, like, I don't understand it. I really don't. That's how you want to start a relationship with somebody? It's just.
I mean, there are girls that do the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they think they cheat. I've seen it so many times. There's actually couples that were like together, and then the two people, the guy and the girl, cheat, and they get in a relationship, and it never works out. It hardly ever works out because like they both cheated on their partners to literally be together, and then guess what? One of them winds up doing the same thing again. That's not a healthy foundation for any type of relationship.
Yeah, the foundation is just bad.
Yeah, it's a bad start to that foundation.
Yeah, man. I don't want no bad karma coming my way, man. I'll stay out of it.
Marius, somebody we both know, we're telling this guy last year about this. Like, it's like there was somebody we knew that was like, trying to be with someone that was like in a relationship, like, dude, the foundation is already destroyed. Like,
Yeah, I was just left scratching my head. That didn't make any sense to me.
yeah, I'm like, we both told him, we're like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like, it's like, and he like wanted a legitimate committed relationship with this woman. I'm like, so wait a minute, you're gonna come in and try to like, that's a terrible foundation. If she was single and you were single, it's different.
Yep, just give it time, and she's gonna do the same thing to you.
I think what's annoying too is just like why guys do that. Like it's a waste of time. And like you have a whole relationship, family or whatever, and you're like trying to it's so weird. Sorry. I don't get why people do that and waste their time. Like
Yeah,
Rob said, it's so many women in this world. Like your
Yeah.
feelings you can control your feelings. Mentally it may hurt you, but learn how to train your mind to look elsewhere.
right. That's the thing. It's like you should never ever be like, even if you have like, that's the thing, like, even if you have feelings, like, I don't understand. Like, it's like someone's in a relationship, it's a barrier, it's a respect thing. You don't mess with someone who's already with somebody else. A lot of people, though, like I said, they feel like some type of conqueror, like they feel like they get some type of reward because they went and did that. It's like, it's just, I'm a big believer in karma. Like, it's gonna get you when you want to settle down with somebody and you're serious about somebody.
I was just thinking that too. You notice when like you're single, nobody wants you, then you get in a relationship and everybody's like trying to talk to you. It's crazy.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep, it happens all the time. Some people, because somebody says, "Oh, somebody took an interest in them, so they must have something good." People see from the outside, like, "Oh, they obviously offer something, so let me." That particular happens a lot of times with men too. Like, I feel, because like with women, a lot of times they can get attention from men regardless, but with
Yeah.
men, a lot of times a man, when he gets into a relationship, they're like, "Oh, that woman is with him. Like, oh, he must have something like good. Like, oh, like, and let me try to go talk to him and take him away from her." That happens a lot, Rob.
Yeah.
I know you know
Yeah.
that, Rob. You see it all the time.
Happens a lot.
It does happen often.
I'm sure you guys know. You walk in with your girl to like, I don't know, restaurant someplace. Then all the other girls are on you, staring at you. It's just like, what the hell?
Yeah,
So it's just like, but when you walk in by yourself, nobody's looking at you.
my one cousin. I'm not gonna say his name, but
No one's looking at you, right?
My one cousin, he's in his 40s. He's been married for like 20 years. He was at a wedding, and one of the bridesmaids, like, his wife is beautiful. One of the bridesmaids, like was trying to like flirt with him. Oh, no one needs a married man, like at like the wedding reception thing, would not leave him alone. He eventually just had to leave. He's like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here." Like, it's just like ridiculous, dude. But like they see, like, it's weird. Like, he's been married for like 20 years. He got 3 kids. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
he's like, "What the hell is going on?" He's like, the unbelievable like disrespect, like, just
Well,
like, I don't
what about the women that are pregnant that possibly are in a relationship and the guys are like trying to talk to them while they're pregnant? Like, hello, like,
Yes. Amen.
what
Thank
the
you.
hell?
Thank you. Yes, that happens all
Yo,
the
dudes are
time.
savages.
You know what it's like? You know what it's like to be pregnant and walk around and people are hitting on you, knowing
What?
that like they see the bump. The bump is there. So obviously it's not. I'm not like I'm telling Candyce, like, thank you for bringing that up because that is a good point.
I didn't know that.
Men hit on pregnant people. You know why? Because they know that if they have sex with you and they knock, it ain't your kid.
Yes.
Because you already knocked up.
It's like a
That is-
fantasy too. I feel like it's a fantasy.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was going to say that's a fetish. It's disgusting.
It's like a gross
What?
fetish because
Yeah,
like
what
they will
the
do
fuck?
any you can cut in
What?
line. You look
Yeah.
cute, like
To
you're
me, that's an
pregnant.
automatic turn
This is
off.
what I'm
This is
seeing. You know
news
what I'm
to
That's an
talking
me, man.
automatic
That's
turn off
fucking.
for me.
That's a turn off for me, man. That's
Like,
fucking
what?
disgusting. Yeah,
That's
what the
weird.
Yeah,
Various,
it's
their
creepy
various
for
is like, what
sure.
the fuck?
hell? That is
You'd be
disgusting.
surprised.
That's crazy.
I agree.
That is just weird. But no, I just like, dude, some dudes are like dudes are just fucking horny all the fucking time,
Oh
man.
my
Like,
Yeah,
it's
they
just
don't
like,
know how
No,
to
but
control
bro,
their
that
damn
is,
hormones. How
yeah, they
about
can't
that?
control their dick, man.
bro, that's beyond crossing the line, though, man. God damn.
Yeah, no self-control, man.
None. That's why I say, like, how value dudes, they have self control. They don't fucking, like, you know what I mean? They know, you know what I mean? Like, it's just lack of self control is just
And the men that are in the relationships and they still seeking girls, like that's kind of off to me.
Yeah, that's weird. It's like looking for like validation.
It's
Go
just
ahead.
really
It's weird.
weird.
I don't know. Women do that a lot.
They
I
Trust
do.
don't
me,
know
guys do
about
the
that.
same
It's,
I
I
thing.
don't
think
know
guys
about
are the
that.
worst.
No. I'm
Listen,
sorry, ladies.
It
there's
may
men
not
out
be you,
here,
but
I
there's
trust
can't
me.
men,
agree with you with that one. I'm sorry.
there's men out here in the world that can put a ring on somebody else's finger and still hit you up
Yes,
for
yes, yes,
something else.
yes.
I'm
The
telling you.
devils
But
themselves. The
but
devil, yeah.
yes, but also too, the thing is that's a vice versa type of thing because we can do the same
Yep,
too,
of course.
right?
Yeah.
So you men do it technically like they just because they want they just want to hold pretty much. When we do anything, I feel like women, when we do anything, we do it with an intention. We want to hurt you. We want to prove a point. We want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
We
Nah.
want that. Y'all
But
just like y'all just
Also, you're forgetting one
stick it
thing:
in
the
a hole.
validation.
yeah, so
Validation.
that's why I was gonna come in because I think what Rob meant was like from the validation perspective, men don't just hit women up though for validation like in the DMs. They all want the ultimate goal where they'll actually sleep with the woman. Whereas for a woman, I think it takes more for a woman to
Yeah.
sleep with the guy. If women can just
Yeah.
get the validation, they can have dudes in their DMs and obviously never act on it, never ever sleep with these men. But I've seen it a ton of times. Like they just have dudes comment down their Facebook and they kind of keep these dudes on the hook even though they're in relationships just to kind of keep them there for validation. Whereas a man is like you said, Desi,
But I feel like they seek validation in a different manner.
they want to get sex. They
I
a lot of times.
guess,
There's a lot of
whatever.
times they want to try to get that final goal. That's how
Sex is the validation for them.
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Right, because we're physical. That's why.
And we're emotional.
Physical.
We're emotional. We want you to
Physical.
like tell us we
Logical.
look pretty. We like lie to us. Tell us that we look beautiful
Goal.
every day. Like when we look home, like like we have different. It's so opposite.
Yeah, because I know married women that we like to call it the for sale sign, but is not for sale.
No.
Like marketing on IG just for the validation, but she's married. Like you should only want the validation of your husband, but you're seeking validation of other guys. But
Yeah.
technically, it's not cheating because she's not doing anything physical. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's the
Yeah.
difference.
But it's
So
But
emotional.
she's
to
not
me.
getting no attention or love in her relationship. She's wrong. But women seek it because they're not getting it in their relationship.
But
And
then
it's
that's where communication comes in. And if the guy's not giving it and it doesn't work out, they need to just bounce and leave. It's just that's where communication is important too. Like sometimes, like that's where they have to communicate with their men, be like, "Hey, look, my needs aren't being met here, my needs aren't being met here." And I feel like a lot of people they tend to just seek things outside the relationship without actually communicating and talking about those things.
But some people do communicate. You're
It's
right, but some people
easier.
do communicate, and I feel like I've been in a relationship like that before where like I communicated and the guy didn't like change anything at all. And then I feel like I guess I could speak for myself. Like you feel like you'll settle with someone because you've been with them so long, and that's the sad part. But let's not talk about me. Let's get back to the topic.
Yeah, that's
100% agreed.
That's where more people. Yeah, it sucks because there's sometimes you settle because that's why knowing your worth is just so important.
Yeah, you're stuck. You got to get out of it, and that's what I did, and I'm so much happier. So
yeah, because there's just so many people in the world. We settle sometimes because we're with somebody for so long, but the worst thing in the world is being in a relationship with someone for being married to someone for 50 years, and there's no attraction there anymore. Y'all just can't work on anything, and you're just in an unhappy relationship for
but there's
decades.
so many people that live their life like that. I've seen older people and they're just settling in their relationship, and it just it's so bad. Sorry.
I knew someone that was married for 35 years, and once he finally got out, he's older, but when he got out of his marriage, after 35 years of mental abuse and stuff, he was the happiest he had ever been because he finally felt free. He's like, I should have done this so long ago. He stayed in it for his kids. And his kids were well above 18 by the time he eventually decided to move on. But he felt so happy. And then the woman put it all on him and stuff. Said he left her, abandoned her, and stuff. But at the same time, he had tried to work on these things for years. And it happens with men and women. Once he finally got out of that situation, he felt so happy. He felt free.
But think about our parents too.
Yeah,
because I at least for me, I'm sorry to cut you off, but at least for in my situation, my mom and dad, they've been married 40+ years. My mom sleeps in her room and my dad sleeps in his room.
Yeah, you see,
They're
see.
married together because they're comfortable. And at this
Yeah,
point in the stage of life, they're too old to get divorced. They don't want to deal with the money. And the reason why they stayed together was because of like the kids. We're grown, but they're still together. Like they have like a love-hate relationship. Um, but she goes to her room at the end of the night and he goes to his. And I mean,
Wow.
it's like same house, you know what I'm saying? But it's like same household. You've been married to this person for 40 plus years, like married for 40, but like been together for longer, and you guys don't even sleep in the same room.
yeah, it's
Damn.
crazy. And I
And
feel
I know they have love for each other, but they're not in love with each other. But they're also old. But for me, I don't ever want to be that.
right, right. So at least you can like see that example and you
Hmm.
understand that's not what you want. I would say like, and that's not the first time I've ever heard that. That's a lot of people from that generation that are like it's not. I'm not saying it's the majority, but there are other people that do the same thing. They've been married so long, and I feel like that's that generation. Like a lot of them, they'll brag like, "Oh, we stuck together through each other for 50 years." Yeah, but were you truly happy? That's the thing. Like it's like, were you truly happy? Because the word divorce is like it's like taboo. Like you don't want to like hear that word. It's unfortunate, but sometimes you can only work on something so much to the point where the other person doesn't want to work on things with you, and you can't what's that phrase? You need somebody else to get in the ring with you when you're trying to like work on things. If the other person's not willing to get in the ring with you, there's nothing you can
Yeah.
do about it. It just
Yeah.
comes a point where it's like you could be so much happier living with, like living your life. It doesn't mean y'all can't like it's just sometimes people grow apart and the other person might not be the person you originally married. Sometimes people change. So it's like but I feel like that generation, a lot of times they brag about like we've been together 55 years, something. That's great if y'all were happy, but there's a lot of people that just stick together just to stick together.
Yeah. But I also think there's a fine line as well.
Yeah.
Because like with Desi, like you were saying, they've been together for so long. It's hard, relationships are
Hmm.
hard. That's one
It is.
thing our generation got to figure out. Like
Yeah,
relationships are not always about being happy, having fun 24/7. No,
it's
it's
true.
it's hard work and there's a goal you guys have to pursue together. So um I don't think it's always about happiness at the same time. I feel like sometimes also about duty. But at the same time, you guys should work to be happy. Like you don't want to be miserable. So I think it's kind of a fine line because I feel like sometimes people just jump out of relationships or get divorced real quick just because they're not happy for 2 days. It's like, come on, like it's work. It takes both people, like Steve was
Right.
saying, it takes both people to get in the ring and put in the work to reach an end
Hmm.
goal that you guys have for each other. And
Yeah.
it's about like duty as well. But you don't want to be miserable. So I think it's a fine
No.
line.
And I feel like I agree
Oh,
because it's
sorry.
sometimes. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm probably gonna hop off because I'm getting tired here and I have work early in the morning.
No, hey, no problem. We appreciate you taking the time to come on tonight. Thank you for sharing your perspective. I
You're
appreciate that.
welcome. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Right.
Take care. Have a good night.
Bye.
What were you saying, Desi?
No, I was agreeing with Rob. Just because, like, for my parents, like per se, like they've just been dealing with each other like for so long that to them, I don't think that they don't know how to live without each other. But like, they're together. Like I know that they love each other, but it's not like an in love type of thing. And sometimes like these situations, it's like a generational curse, and I'm trying to break that. Like when I get married, I don't want to sleep in a separate room than my husband. I don't
Right.
want to. I'm like no, like we go to bed together, we do everything together. We like, um, it's very weird, and I want to break that curse. I think, but they're old school.
Right.
Like they don't.
Right.
I don't know. To me, if you're like married and you're sleeping in separate beds, to me, you're more like roommates now. I
Yeah,
don't.
but
I was gonna
that's
say
pretty
that.
much what it is. It's like it's like, hey, what's up? They clap each other up. You want coffee? And like they're like best friends, but they're married. Like
Yeah.
for they've
This
known
is
each
so
other like
common
half their
now.
lives. You know?
This is
Yeah.
very common. This is very
Yeah.
common. A
Yeah.
lot of people stay together like that, just for the kids and to settle. They don't want to start all over. This is very common, and like they're still married, but they're like roommates. Like I met some lady. She was older, and like her and her husband still live together, but they sleep in other rooms and they travel, they do their own thing. And I'm like, do you care if he talks to other women? She's like, I don't care. You know, he still pays the bills as long as he does what he wants to do. I'm like, wow, this is so different. I'm not used to it.
Wow. Right?
She's with him based right on the fact that he's just a provider.
Right.
Like literally just on the provider aspect of it. If he couldn't provide, she wouldn't be with him.
So he's helping, so he's providing, but then you're miserable. So make sense.
Yeah, it's a fine line. I actually like that Rob kind of kicked that back the other way, because as much as you need someone to get in the ring with you, and sometimes divorce is inevitable, you just to keep yourself happy. I agree with Rob there that happiness isn't going to be constant, and our generation kind of goes the other way with it. They pull out and divorce so quickly. That's why divorce rates are so high, because people give up. They actually don't sit there and work on a relationship. They pull out quickly. So I actually like that point that you kind of kick that back, because it's right. There's a middle ground there. You don't want to be unhappy, but at the same time, don't give up so quickly. Like, you get married for a reason. When you commit to a marriage with somebody, that's good and bad times. So people tend to, you're not always going to be happy. There's going to be bad times, but you have to be willing to, work on it too. So there's a line. And that's very, very true to Desi and Kandyce and Mario. All great points. But yeah, it's a fine line. But you do see it more and more. Like, a lot of people like sleep in the same different beds, and it's almost like they're roommates, but they stick together for so long. But yeah, that's just, if he couldn't provide Kandyce, I don't know if she'd be with him. God forbid, like he wasn't paying the bills.
That's a fact.
And another thing, they don't want to go back to the streets. It's rough. It's rough out there. Like, it's gonna be worse if they leave. So they might as well just stay. Like,
that's true. The older we get too, it's like it's harder. It's harder.
Yeah.
Because they're not in the prime anymore, so it's harder.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm 28 years old and it's past my bedtime. Like, I don't know. I understand that, like, with like marriage. Like, when you get married, it's kind of like signing your life away almost, right? So you make it work, good and bad. But I'll be there for you in the good times, and I'll fight for you in the bad times as well. Like, don't try me, because I will throw hands. Like, I will go to jail. But vice versa. So God forbid, like, I need something, I need you to be able to step in the ring too and throw hands for me too. So it's like it's not even a 50-50 thing. It's like 100-100. So you give your 100%, I give my 100%. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Right,
so when are we going to start a GoFundMe for Desi's bailout money?
For what? For my what?
Your bailout money.
Oh, you could start collecting the money today.
Oh boy.
Oh wait, I just see one. George is starting it. Wait,
where is he at? Where did he go?
I don't know where he disappeared.
I left and had to come back. Where's he at?
I don't know. Did he even text me that he was leaving?
No, I don't know. Bro, didn't he say to be out by like 10:10 or something like that?
Georgie Porgy.
Oh boy. Yeah, nah, he he made some good points too. I didn't really agree with the Busta Rhymes one that he had about like the man taking like watching over the dude's wife and stuff. I'm like, I don't really agree with that one, but he made some solid points. Other than that one, I was like, I didn't really agree with that one, because I'm like, a woman can take care of herself. She'd be all right. Like, for like a couple, like, he's like, I don't know. We know how guys are. You ain't got to take care of my wife. Should be all right.
So I have one question for you guys. Well, Marius, all y'all, the guys. How do you guys feel about your women or someone that you're talking to or dealing with having a male friend?
So I think we talked about our pushing, but I'll just say, like, it's
But like individually, like from your like standpoint, like real talk, like what is it, a yay or nay? Like,
for me, it's like kind of like you said, you're not hanging out with your male friends one-on-one. It's different. I think if my girl's like hanging out regularly with her male friend, like she's got male friends just hanging out one-on-one, in that situation, like I would not be comfortable with that. That's just a boundary I would have to be honest. So that's my take on it. But like obviously, women have friends that they grew up with, certain things. But it's different if like they're hanging out every day and they're doing things like that. And like Rob said, like that I agree with Rob on this one. Like it's different when they're hanging out in a group versus one on one. I think I really agree with that. That's a boundary that I agree with. Like,
Yeah, because if it should all be together. If there's nothing that should be hidden, then why can't we all just hang out together?
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah, one-on-one hangouts all the time, that's a red flag. I would not be down with that, and I would make it abundantly clear right from the get-go that if this continues, I'm just going to have to walk away. Because as a man, I have respect for myself, I have boundaries, and I have standards. And if they're not going to be met, no problem. I'll just walk away, and you can find somebody else that's going to tolerate that.
Sheesh.
Yeah, dropping the facts.
You need a soundboard after that one.
Nah, yeah, for real. That's gonna be a soundboard. Respect for yourself, man.
Yeah, I'm right there with Steve. Right, like exactly. Like I'm cool with it to a point. Like not no one-on-one, not texting every day. Like it's like you said, it's like just a group outing, like or a sport you guys play, or an interest group, or like a church or whatever. And y'all coming together as a group, and obviously y'all connected as friends. Yeah, it's cool. But that one-on-one stuff or texting all the time, intimate talking, nah, we ain't doing that.
Have y'all ever been in the situation where like you've had to tell a girl like, yo, like I don't feel comfortable with this?
Yeah, not in a relation. Yeah, nah. I would say like it's different. Like I'd say in a relationship. Nah, I've actually really never had like anything crazy like that. Like where I've really had to. I feel like you like as a guy, like if you command like respect, like just by like or I don't know. Like, I've never really had that situation. Have you ever had that, Rob?
Nah,
Were you
I
in a
never had.
relationship with somebody?
Yeah, I never had that situation. Like the girl always just knew, kind of just like it wasn't a
Yeah.
constant thing.
If you do a good job vetting like early on, I feel like because that's the thing you kind of sometimes know when you're first dating a woman and how like you can kind of get a feel for like how she is. So if the woman is like already like she got like a ton of guy friends around her and stuff like that, she's hanging out with them all the time. That's not a girl you're typically probably going to get into a relationship with. You know what I mean? You kind of vet that from like the dating stages versus like in a relationship. You agree with that?
You talking to Desi or me?
To you, Rob.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I agree for sure.
Yeah.
Like from the start, you notice that you see if she's like all up in the guy's friends, all up in there,
Yeah.
all up in them. It's just like ooh, and like
you vet it.
usually real like most girls like that don't have always hanging out with the guy friends all the time. So yeah, like you said, from a vetting perspective, yeah, I don't have
Right.
that issue.
Mario, you ever had that?
No. Thankfully, I never did.
Yeah. And if you did, that's a boundary you got to draw. You can't
Yeah,
stay
I mean
silent. You can't stay silent about it.
right. But that's where communication comes in, though. Like the moment that you guys get into a relationship, like that has to be hashed out.
Yeah.
Conversation needs to be had before it even gets to that point.
Yeah, because the longer that goes on, the more that the woman's going to think you're okay with that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a boundary to get set early.
Kandyce, what about you? Like for a guy?
What has a guy ever told me like we can't do this or that because they have a girlfriend?
No, like having a guy like your partner, like you going to your partner and being like, yo, like why are you talking to this person so much? Like are
Oh,
y'all
for sure. Best believe I will communicate if I feel uncomfortable or something. Yeah, for sure. Like before when I was in a relationship, I looked at my boyfriend's phone and he texted someone, it didn't have a name, and he texted someone like, hey, what you doing? And I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't be saying that to no guy. So I said something to him and I was like, yeah, so you don't have a name on here. And you text them what they're doing, and I was like, I know you're not asking your friends like what you're doing. Like that's something you would ask a girl. I just felt it in my heart. Um, and I'm not afraid to communicate that at all. Like if I'm uncomfortable with something and I feel like you're giving someone else attention and not giving me attention, I'm gonna let you know. Like I'm not afraid of what your response is gonna be. I'm not afraid if you're gonna get angry because I'm asking these questions. Like I feel like when you get, some people might do this at a young age, but just from my experience, me being older now, like it's about me being happy. It's about me being, communicating. Like I'm not settling to be unhappy no more. Like I've been through too much to like I'm grown enough for us to communicate, and we should teach each other how to love each other the right way, and just have respect and boundaries. Because if you want to have fun with a lot of girls and communicate with girls and make them laugh and flirt and all that stuff, you go ahead and be a clown and entertain them. I will not be part of that circus show. Not at all.
Okay.
I agree.
Everybody's like, well,
Kandyce, can we hang out, please?
What did you say, Desi?
I said, can we hang out? Like,
Poor
Candyce,
Debbie.
like,
You're such
just...
a cutie. I think you're so adorable.
Oh, you're
Yes,
so cute.
you're
Stop.
so cute.
I think you're
You
muted,
make
Rob.
Steve so happy.
No.
I love you. You're adorable.
Stop.
I,
You're cute.
no, I was just gonna say not 1-on-1, Desi.
Well, yeah. There you go, right there. You guys,
Not two girls.
listen, men are always so worried about a woman going to cheat with another girl, with another guy. Bitch, we just want friends. We just want like girl talk. Like we're
That's
not
how
worried
guys
about
are.
like a man. Like just like this is a woman's
But
perspective.
I understand what they're saying, because sometimes women get a little too friendly and something can happen. So I can understand.
Yes, and that's 100%. I actually 1,000%. We could do
Desi,
that.
it's not. Yeah, Desi. Just to be clear, it's not that we don't trust you. We don't trust the guy because they could have. Like.
But we're talking about girls, though.
Oh my bad. Never mind. I take that back.
No, but Marius, yeah, I agree. Like, I guess I don't trust men because we know. But that's the thing, that we know that you don't care about our favorite color. You don't care about like what we dress in. Like, you don't care about that. You care about like what hole do you put? Like that's what y'all care about. Us, we're a little more emotional.
Come on,
So
we're not that animalistic. Like, come on, yo.
We require more. Like the qualifications for women require more. Like you have to be there for like emotional support. Like it takes a lot. Men, y'all just whatever hole that pleases. Like y'all it's easier.
Not me.
But me and Kandyce are gonna hang out, and we'll have a one-on-one. We'll probably start our own podcast.
Oh, for sure, girl. Dad, I'm so with it. Like, I'm so with it.
That's hilarious.
And it's hard to get friends,
Steve, looks like did you hear that, man? You and George got competition now, bro.
Yeah, they don't want it with me and Dez. Like, we're gonna blow you guys out of the water.
No, because we're gonna come.
We're gonna blow George out of the water.
They always come for us. Like all these after hours, it's always about the girls. Like,
no, we're just having a legitimate conversation. It's better to have females on here too.
I'm joking.
I was gonna say like it would be weird if like just all men were on here talking about this, because don't give women an opportunity to talk about it too. Like it would be so stupid. It's just like 10 dudes on here talking about.
Yeah, there's no balance. There's no balance.
Yeah, there's no constructive conversation here.
Like this is perfect. You have 3 guys, 2 girls. Well, with Leyla there was 3 girls, so each person gave their perspective.
It was pretty even.
Yeah, you had George in and out. Here and there. My boy Dante was supposed to come on, but I guess he didn't make it on. But I think it was better probably just literally having the balance of the amount that we did, because it's better that way. It would have been probably too many dudes. He was talking he was going to bring a friend too, so I'm like, it would have been too many dudes in here. So it's actually a nice balance. It would be cool if next time like Rich and Tasia too, like have Rich and Tasia come in here, because Rich he has like a certification test tomorrow, so he's like I can't come in tonight, but it'd be nice to have them two on here too. And Desi and Tasia have met before.
Yep. So. Hopefully we all see each other on the boat, right?
Yeah.
Kandyce, are you going?
Yes, ma'am.
There we go.
If you don't go, I'm not going. So that's you heard it live in person. So if she don't go, I ain't going either.
Cute. I might have to take you away from Steve. I am so in love with you.
Well, I don't like girls like that, but
I don't like girls either. But I was just saying how cute and sweet you are as a friend.
I love her. We're gonna be best friends.
You're gonna be besties. I think this
Yeah,
was.
I said it in that way where like you're not supposed to be hanging out with friends, but I want to hang out with you as a friend.
No, that's fine because you know what? We could just like link up together and then just leave. Let them do their thing and then
No,
we
it's
do our
funny
thing.
because this twist turned into something she thought I was liking girls. Desi, I'm so sorry if you felt
No, I was
What is
joking.
what's going on
I'm
here?
sorry. I joke a lot. Like the shit that comes out of my mouth is crazy. I'm always kidding.
I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she doesn't feel some type of
No,
way.
girl, let's hang out. Where do you live? Where
This
do
has
you
really
live?
turned into an after hours.
Yeah.
Just girl, add me on
HBO.
Instagram
We
and we'll have
are.
a conversation because
Gotcha.
it's like the men are here, so like, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. These are always entertaining episodes. Entertaining episodes.
Yeah, I enjoy coming on for this
All
one, man.
right,
Can't wait
guys.
for the
I
next
am
one.
going to bed. I have work at 8 a.m. So you guys
Yeah.
have a lovely night. I'm older than all of you. I'm an old head. So you young people, stay young. Have a great night.
Hey, take care. I think it's a good opportunity
care,
to kind of
guys.
wrap up here
Bye.
too.
Have a good night. Take care.
Have a good one, Candyce. Thank you. Oh, and Rob popped out too. Oh,
I don't know if he meant it or he
yeah.
like
I was gonna say I think it's a good opportunity to kind of wrap it up here because it is about an hour and a half in. We started 10 minutes late, so it's 10:40. I think with that being said, if I don't know if Desi, Mario, you have any other comments, but I just want to take the time to say that I appreciate y'all coming on. Rich was commenting in. I guess Rich said good night, y'all, so he was watching. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate everyone that commented in tonight. That includes I know Desi, you were already commenting in. We have some other people too in here, but yeah, I appreciate you both coming on. I guess next week will be 138, and we have a guest lined up for that one. So,
yeah, man,
Rob,
thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Yo, Rob, we were saying we're probably gonna wrap up right here, man. So I do want to say thank you for coming on tonight, man. Appreciate you,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
The goat
Yes, sir.
is back.
The goat is back.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was just about to my thing just closed, but yeah, I was just about to tap out. So it was a great
No
time with you
problem, man.
guys.
Yeah, good
I'll
seeing
see
you,
you
bro.
guys soon. Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah,
Bye,
absolutely,
man. I
man.
hope to see you soon too, man.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye, Rob. Bye, Marius. Bye, Steve.
Bye,
Babe.
Bye,
Take
guys.
care.
Have a good night. Take care.
All right. Bye.